Subscribe to Gizmo Times and get notified about our latest videos by hitting the bell icon. Hey guys, welcome to Gizmo Times. This is Chetan and this is the comparison between two latest smartphones launched from Oppo and Vivo. This is the Oppo F7 and this one is the Vivo V9. Both are launched almost at the same price. The Oppo F7 is priced at Rs 22,000 while the Vivo V9 is priced at Rs 23,000. But then the Oppo F7 has a different variant as well with 6GB of RAM and 128GB storage that's priced at Rs 27,000. So in this comparison we do a basic spec comparison. It's not a complete performance test that we have done already because this one is launched just a day back. So we'll be doing a proper test and then a comparison a few days later. But for now, you'll at least know how do these two phones differ. Starting with the design, the two phones look quite similar with the glossy back, but then the color variants of these two phones are different. Oppo one comes with the red, silver and black color options, and the black one is completely different of how a usual diamond cut would look like. But on the other side, the Vivo also has a glossy back, but it has only the gold and black color variants. For the comfort and the feel when you hold the phones, the Vivo V9 actually seems better because of the curvy back, and it actually looks a bit slimmer as well. With regards to the weight, it's only 8 grams of difference between the two, where the Oppo is a bit heavier. And that is also thanks to the heavier battery that it has got. It has got a 3400 mAh battery when compared to 3260 mAh battery on the Vivo V9. Coming to the display part, almost the same size again, and the resolution is exactly the same with 2280 x 1080 pixels, and the display size here to be exact at 6.3 inch display on the Vivo V9 compared to the 6.23 inch on the Oppo F7. The top notch is the same on both of them, and there's no capacitive buttons or there's no buttons on the front. It's a similar kind of bezels that you see on both of them, and the bottom chin as well is almost at the same level of thickness, so it's not any different when you look at it from the front, and that was anyway expected because the three phones, the three brands actually, the Oppo, Vivo and OnePlus, they almost have a similar kind of design structure every year for their flagships. Now getting into the internal specs, the Oppo F7 comes with the Helio P60 from MediaTek, and that could be a little disappointing when you compare that to the Vivo V9. Because otherwise, if Oppo had come up with at least a Snapdragon 620 series or 630 series of chipset, that would have been commendable. But Vivo took that mark away with the Snapdragon 626. And the Helio P60 isn't a bad chipset, it has the AI support. At the same time, if you talk about the GPU performance, that is where the Vivo V9 actually is much better, with the Adreno 506 GPU performing much better when compared to the Mali G72 GPU on the Oppo F7. I tried playing games on both of them for some time and it was easily visible that the Vivo V9 has a better gaming performance. But then we'll do a separate video of both of them to let you know how good the performance on each of them is. Now getting into the OS, both of them have the Android 8.1.0 Oreo based their own custom interfaces. The Oppo's interface is called ColorOS and that is the 5.0 version on this, and the Vivo one is called the FunTouchOS, the 4.0 version. Both talk a lot about the artificial intelligence and they both have their own unique set of features, but again a lot of similarity here as well. There are gesture motion features which are almost the same. In the camera you find the AR stickers, which is again a similarity between the two phones. But the major difference is how the cameras work here. Vivo again wins here clearly because of the dual lens camera on the back with a 16 megapixel plus 5 megapixel combination here, that compared to the Oppo's 16 megapixel single camera on the back. If you talk about the low light performance, I'm sure Oppo might be doing a better job here because of having a f1.8 aperture, but then these days what you expect from a smartphone is to have a dual lens camera, at least for those background defocus of pictures and such kind of special photos, and that is not possible with Oppo because a single lens camera cannot do a lot except when the software is so much optimized. And here I could give you an example of the Pixel 2, how it works with a single camera and does the best of the bokeh options. But that is not possible on the Oppo F7. For the selfies, it's almost the same on both the phones, with the Oppo F7 coming with a 25 megapixel camera compared to the 24 megapixel one on the Vivo V9. Both have a similar kind of quality, but then the V9 noticeably has a 4K video recording support for the front-facing camera as well. Another major disappointing feature of the Oppo F7 here is that it doesn't support 4K videos, and compared to Vivo V9 again, having 4K support for both the front and the rear cameras. Coming to the battery life, I haven't tested the Oppo F7 so much yet, so I can't comment on how good the battery life is. But Oppo says that thanks to the Helio P60 chipset here, there's a lot of optimization done and the battery life seems to be better also because of the artificial intelligence here. And the Oppo F7 comes with a 3400 mAh battery, while the Vivo V9 comes with a 3260 mAh battery. So for the battery life, numbers wise or the specs wise, the Oppo phone seems better, but in the end how good the battery life would be, we'll be letting you know later. So that was it about the specs comparison between the two phones, what each of them offer here. And specs wise, I would say that there's a tough competition, but then again with the chipset and with the rear camera combination, the Vivo V9 is actually a better phone. With the battery capacity, the Oppo phone does seem better, but with the design again, the Vivo V9 hits it against the Oppo F7. So this was a quick comparison between the two smartphones, the Oppo F7 and the Vivo V9. I hope you like this video. Stay tuned for the full comparison of these two phones and subscribe to Gizmotimes for more. Thank you for watching and see you in our next video.